Sustainable means that you create channels that are create long-term benefits. So you don't do good just for today. I'm part of the Rotary Foundation. The Rotary Club has existed since 1905.
Yeah.
That means they're not doing good for a day. They are continuously pouring in a sustainable way, in a scalable way.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, babies in their diapers, welcome to the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy.
That's me, Tiberius.
And welcome to the Tiberius Show today. And I'm your host, Tiberius Boy. And as always, looking at various jobs and how they affect the world around us. Today's guest is an entrepreneur, a tech guy turned coffee CEO, and someone building, real change between Kenya and the United States. Do you have any idea what vertically integrated farmer-owned coffee company does? Well, I've got a feeling that we're going to brew up that answer. So you know what? Let me just, introduce our next guest. The one, the only, the amazing Peter Kuria.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Well, thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
So you are listed as the founder and CEO of Solai Coffee. So for my listeners that might not know, what exactly does that mean?
I started a company and I am the Chief Empowerment Officer. That's what I like calling myself instead of just the acronym CEO. And we run a business where we connect people with an experience like no other. So we are doing good for the community and doing good for the people.
Okay, so how did you get started with working with coffee? Was it something that you always wanted to do growing up?
No. I was signed up for this. I tell people that I am in coffee by fate, because I was born into it. So my parents started farming coffee in the early 80s, and I was born in the late 80s. So when I came to my senses, I was surrounded by coffee bushes. So I didn't have any other choice other than to be part of it. And very soon I came to realize that that was going to be our way of life. And my involvement in running the business meant that I was going to get food, clothes, school, basic needs. Yes.
Yeah.
But now I'm in the business by choice. I decided to go back, a lot of passion for it, and a lot of other things that we will get into as the show goes by.
Okay, so you are a second generation coffee farmer. What was it like growing up around coffee plants?
It was fun. In the beginning, oh my God, it wasn't fun. In the beginning, it was a chore, You have this big field of coffee, and coffee takes a lot. To get it to the cup, it takes a lot. But just at the farm level, there's so many things, from planting a seed, waiting for 3 years for it to get to a point where it can give you a fruit. Listen to those words. It's a seed, and then it gives you a fruit. And you have to wait for 3 years.
That's
and
crazy.
You only harvest it once or twice a year, depending on where you are, on the equator, in which continent. So it is a game that requires a lot of perseverance. So when I was a kid and my friends back in their houses playing video games, and for me, as much as I wasn't able to work as much, I'm in the field, and my parents are telling me, hey, you gotta come with us because you have to fetch the water, you have to do this and that. I felt like it was a chore. But after I came to realize that the food that we were eating once in a while, my parents taking us out, was because of the coffee. And since I was like the fourth born in our family, my big brothers had really poured into it, and they knew that they needed to work so that they can go to school. So, and, they always called me and my younger brother the slackers. So we kind of tuned up, when we were young. So it became fun. That's what I can say, yeah.
So you studied computer science and worked in tech.
Yes.
How does tech mix with coffee?
That's a good question. So, when my parents started farming coffee, it was a very lucrative business in the 80s. And then all of a sudden in the 90s, just when they had started, it takes around 7 years for a coffee tree now to start bearing, to give you the full potential.
Yeah.
And when it was getting to full potential, the market started tanking. So it was no longer a lucrative business. So they decided that we were going to do everything we can, my dad and my mom, to get the most they can from the coffee, to take the kids to the best schools and encourage them to study so that they don't come back to the farm and struggle. So I grew up being threatened by my parents: study hard, go to school, get good grades, or come back to the farm and struggle with us. So whenever they said that, I put my mind into books, and that is an example that was set up by my older brothers. We all graduated college. Some have 2 degrees, some have master's degrees. So I knew that the only escape from this struggle at the farm, the sun, the rain, and long nights, and sometimes, not borrowing from my parents, borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, because, they're getting money from the coffee, paying for us tuition, and then they don't have anything to put back to the farm. So nicer things started shrinking when the market tanked. So I had, I don't know why, but I had so much passion about computers, because I remember when I was so young saying that I want to be a computer scientist. I didn't know what it meant, but I lived up to it. So I ended up not going into computer science, not doing computer engineering, which I wanted. I wanted actually to be in the theater, producing movies and video games and that stuff. I was aiming that for the stars, but I landed on the moon. So that was computer science. I don't know how they mixed, but I ended up there.
I mean, one way that I mixed 2 and 2 together was I drank a lot of coffee when I was doing some coding for computer science.
Yeah, you need it.
So your parents basically robbed Peter to pay Paul. Is that why they named you Peter?
That's a funny one. No, my brothers have different names, but realistically, I guess that's what it was, I'm the 4th one, right? Yeah.
So what does ethical, sustainable, and traceable trade mean in real kid-friendly words?
Sustainable, let's start with that. It's a word that is actually very much misused by entrepreneurs, right? Sustainable means that you create channels that are create long-term benefits. So you don't do good just for today. I'm part of the Rotary Foundation. The Rotary Club has existed since 1905.
Yeah.
That means they're not doing good for a day. They are continuously pouring in a sustainable way, in a scalable way. Ethical means that you're not robbing Peter to pay Paul. Sometimes, what you're doing is you're doing business in the right way, making sure that it's a fair deal. Nobody leaves the table sad because they feel that you took so much. I'm not talking about middlemen here, but you can tell that that's where I'm going. And the third one was ethical, sustainable, and
I believe it was. Wait a second, I'm thinking about it. A traceable trade.
Traceable. Traceability means that you can walk back and know the origin, right? So let's say, for example, when you're recycling, you can walk back to which you collected water bottles and you created a table from it. So you have traced the material back to the source. When it comes to coffee, it's knowing exactly the people who are farming that coffee, how they are farming that coffee, and what the coffee is doing for them. So in this case, I tell people every time I pour a cup of coffee or I give you a pack of coffee, a cup or a pack of coffee, I tell you that may it connect you to the people and the place it comes from. And that encompasses thinking about what's their livelihood. the $2, the $5, the $10 you give me, how much is going back to the farmer? Can we trace it back? Can we see it at the farm level? Can we see it in the community? Can we see it in the schools? Because continuity means taking care of the second generation, the third generation. So you have to make sure that it is traceable.
Okay, so your coffee comes from the Lwani Coffee Estate in Kenya. So what makes coffee from that region special?
It's special because of the people, the perseverance, the passion, the joy they pour into the coffee. I told you when my parents started farming, it was very lucrative, but it tanked. But until now, we are 42 years into farming. So they have been very perseverant. They struggle, but when you see them at the farm, they are always smiling. The other thing is the nature. We are by the mountain, good volcanic soil. Kenya is known for the best coffee in the world. I'm not kidding. Siri, Google can back me up on that because of the topography and the altitude. So, and we produce a lot of good coffee. I tell people, all countries produce good coffee, but who produces a lot of coffee that is good? It's Kenya. Yeah.
Okay. So what's one part of coffee farming that most people have no idea about?
Wow, a lot of things. The first one I can say is they don't know that coffee is a fruit, and they are literally drinking smoothie. You're extracting the juice from the bean. That's why we say, it's bean juice. So coffee is a fruit. It's a cherry, just like the one they put on your, like the one
milkshakes.
Yeah,
Chick-fil-A?
exactly. And we used to eat them when we were kids, and our parents would kick us because they have worms sometimes if they're infested by worms. But you're in the field, you're hungry, and you just start eating them. So coffee is a fruit and it's a seed because you can plant it and it can grow back. Yeah.
So what's one thing you think kids should know about doing the work that you do?
Sometimes hard things. You see, coffee, when it comes to farming coffee, it needs a community. So it helps a lot of people. And sometimes it's tough. But when you see the results of how many people are being impacted, at one time we have like 1,000 people at the farm. And it's not a big farm, when it's picking season. Knowing that you can start something that is going to benefit a lot of people, even if it's so hard to do. That is what actually gives us joy. Because before I started importing coffee to the US, we never knew who was drinking our coffee. We never knew whether they liked it or they did not like it. But now that I'm doing this, I am able to give my parents and my community that feedback, and they love it. So what I can tell kids is sometimes good things are hard to do, but when you see the results, they are very fulfilling. Yeah.
Now, here seems like a good time to take a quick commercial break. Let's hear a word from our sponsors.
So you want to make an ad for your company, right?
Yeah, Tiberius, you want to help me?
Okay, so what's the name of the company?
PPWND.
PP what?
Professional Pressure Washing and Detailing.
So you like clean driveways?
Yeah, like that. We pressure wash commercial buildings and semi-truck and trailers.
So how would someone get a hold of you?
They can visit my site at ppwnd.com or call me at 407-900-7793.
So I just tell them to call you at 407-900-7793 or visit ppwnd.com?
Yeah, Tiberius, you got it.
Cut, that's a wrap. Just use that.
Oak Ridge Gun Range is a family-oriented shooting range that has been in business for over 30 years. They specialize in basic firearm training and offer numerous services such as consignments, gun trades, gunsmithing, and concealed weapon classes. I even got my training for gun safety at Oak Ridge Gun Range. Great customer service, and firearm safety is what they do best. So find out more at oakridgegunrange.com.
And we're back here talking with Peter Kuria, CEO and founder of Solai Coffee. He's a farmer, technologist, and community builder. So Peter, how long does it take for coffee to go from the plant to someone's morning cup?
A very long time. It takes a whole year. Remember, when you plant a seed, it's got to take 3 years for it to bear fruit.
Wow.
Once it gets off the tree, it has to go through another rigorous processing, fermentation, washing, drying. And then it has to be milled, like removing something from the seed. And then it has to be shipped, for me, if you're in Orlando, 18,000 nautical miles. And then once it lands here, it has to be warehoused, and then it has to be roasted. Once it's roasted, then you gotta find a machine. And you gotta grind it. And then once you grind it, then you could put it in the pod. You could put it in your regular coffee maker, you know? Or you can just put it in a saucepan with water. It's actually the way we taste coffee. To know the cup profile is just boiling water and putting the coffee grounds. And that's how you know that. It's the simplest way to know that this coffee is going to hold its profile, whether you are in Iceland, whether you are in Kenya, or whether you are somewhere in Timbuktu. Yeah. So it's a long time. I can say it takes a year and change for it to get from the plant to your cup.
So what's the hardest part about running a business in 2 countries?
Sometimes you don't have control. When you are so away from the source, even though you have people that you trust, in this case, it's my parents. I trust them. And then they also have to trust me that I'm presenting their product in the right way. So it's knowing that you are so far away from the community that actually pours so much. And sometimes they're not in a position to see the feedback, to hear the feedback from the people who I'm serving the coffee. So I say that disconnect is there, and we are vertically integrated. I talk to my parents. Sometimes I video call them when I'm out in expos with customers. Now imagine buying a coffee from the store. You don't know where it came from, traceability. You don't know who is farming it, how they are farming it. So if that's a problem to me, and I'm like a phone call away from the producer or a flight away, now imagine how it is for other people. But I would say that's the most difficult thing. And then the other thing is really remaining consistent. When you love the craft and you understand what it takes to get that bean or that seed to cup, then you want to offer the best of the best. So remaining consistent and making sure that you're presenting that to people who, just want coffee. And you tell them, I don't want to just offer you coffee. I want to offer you an experience.
That makes sense. So your mission talks a lot about farmers thriving.
Yeah.
What does success look like for a farmer?
Success for a farmer is knowing that they can have a meal, they can clothe themselves, they can send their kids to school, they can be able to contribute to the community, a fundraiser to build a church, a fundraiser to build a road, a fundraiser to take someone's kid to school. That is success. And then there's something else that we say. When you're running a business, you want to feel good about it. You want to wear a nice suit, right? Yeah. You want to drive a good car. And that is what farmers don't get. So farmers are almost at the point where they are running, I would call it self-employed. They're employed by someone. They're employed by the middlemen. They're employed by the people who are at the tail end of the value chain. Instead of running businesses where they say, I had enough to feed myself, to put back to the soil, to put into the community, and hey, I'm flying to Dubai for 2 weeks for vacation. So that I think that's success. But to me, success is knowing that I can be able to pour back to the community and I have structures that are very sustainable. That's why we work very closely with the local primary school, where we have promised them that as much as we cannot fix all their problems in a marginalized community, someone told me it's not a small village. I call it a small village. A village is a village. That's what they told me. But knowing that I can be able to put smiles on these kids, give them hope, just like my parents told me, education is the escape to all your problems, because nobody can take that away from you. They can start a business and it can for you, but it can fail. But if you have your papers, you know that you're always going to be successful. Yeah.
So what's the best advice that you've ever received, and who gave it to you?
I have a mentor. He's almost 90 years old. And the advice he gave me is that it's not going to be easy, and there are days where you're going to feel like quitting, but the day that you feel like quitting, that is the day that you receive your blessings. So once you start something and you have your mind and passion in it, just keep going, just keep showing up. If it's a hard math question, it's a hard math paper that you're revising for, before you quit, put extra effort, and that's when you're going to grasp it. So that, I think that is the best advice. Yeah.
So, what's one moment in your career that really surprised you or taught you something big?
It's last year when we went back to my community, and I was planning to do something for the school. I was planning to form a structured way of giving back. And when I went to that school, and the teachers pulled me aside, and they told me that they take kids to school, to the hospital, thinking they're sick, and then they realize that they're hungry, like they're just falling, and then they pull this girl who is deaf, right? And they have impaired hearing. They have never had in their life, but they're in a school that is not a special school, and they're in grade 6, and no teacher knows how to do sign language, and the parents don't know how to do sign language. That was one moment that I teared up, and I thanked God. They were blessing us. They were so thankful that we were there, but I'm forever grateful that they gave us an opportunity to go there and see what kind of problems are. And I was able to sponsor that girl because I thought it's a problem that was, whose solution was, too much delayed.
Yeah.
So it was an eye opener, and I'm so thankful. I went with my daughter, who was 7 by then, and for her to see what people have and to appreciate what she has was, a big moment for me. Yeah.
So, why would a kid listening today want to grow up and do your job?
Because it's fun and you get to drink a lot of coffee. Nah. Entrepreneurship.
I wish, man.
Entrepreneurship is fun because you are always solving problems. And in the process of solving problems, you have to innovate. And when you innovate, and some things look very tiny, but when you do small things continuously, consistently, you start realizing that you have innovated a lot in solving problems. And a lot of people that we read in the books, they were doing small things and they ended up being big things. And yeah, so I would say that's the fun thing about being an entrepreneur and pouring back to the community.
Well, on that note, let's take a quick break to pay some bills.
The Tiberius Show would like to thank one of their dedicated sponsors, Custom Designs Orlando. These guys are on Mills Avenue and do all sorts of stuff, ranging from photo ID badges, engraved signs, custom braille ADA signs, vinyl lettering to trophies and awards. The cool part about Custom Designs is they can ship products all over the United States. You can reach them at 407-898-0373 and tell them that
Tiberius
sent you.
Over 40 years, Lighthouse Central Florida has provided education, independent life skills, and job training to thousands of Central Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of vision loss. Whether it's picking out clothes in the morning or just moving around your community and serving Orange, Seminole, and Osceola counties, contact Lighthouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at lighthousecfl.org.
And we are back here talking with Peter Kuria, farmer, technologist, entrepreneur, and the man behind Solai Coffee. So, Peter, what are some skills a teen should be working on now if they want to be an entrepreneur someday?
You gotta love your math because you're always going to be doing math, taking these, removing from these, adding to that. So math is important, and communication helps you a lot when it comes to leadership. Knowing that you are going to be communicating with a lot of people, solving different problems. So communication is key. So communication means that you have to understand also other subjects, not just your English.
Hey guys, I didn't say it this time. I didn't say that math was actually going to be used in the real world yet. Normally I would get that to later in the show, but man, hey, he said it. He said it. What can I say? Guys, listen, math is used in the real world.
Yes. Yes.
Your algebra teacher isn't wrong. So, how does growing or trading coffee actually make the world a better place?
If it's done right, you had the journey from bean to cup. It's a lot of people who are involved. It's a lot of people who are employed.
Oh, yeah.
When Starbucks starts saying about laying off people, even Washington feels it. There's just so many people that are involved. So knowing that it's a product that is going to do good for the world in terms of the people who are producing it, because they're producing it to make a living, and also knowing that people love coffee, for what it is, right? It's either for the energy. I tell people coffee is one of those things that is it's a memory that never dies. Your first coffee date, you meet with people at at a business meeting, it's coffee. It starts off so many things. Yeah. And those memories that are created by coffee, they never die until there's no person who has recollection of that memory.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Peter, do you think AI and technology will help farmers or take away opportunities?
It is going to help us a lot. We are already feeling it. We are already using it. And for me, my parents, they're actually retired, but they are still at the farm. And I think AI is a little bit too much for them. But it is coming in and helping us solve a lot of problems that they were not able to do. So that's why we are encouraging the young people to come back to the farms, because we have to farm smart. We have to respect that there is global warming, right?
Yeah.
The temperatures, the seasons have changed, the pests and diseases have changed. So if you do not have a smart way of doing it, then you're not going to be running a business. So AI, I use it in my business right now, and I am encouraging everybody on my team to use it, and I'm encouraging farmers to tap into it, because it just makes things a little bit faster, and it eliminates a lot of second guessing sometimes. There's a lot of research that we had to do in encyclopedias, if you know that what that is. The AI just makes it easier.
So on your off time, what do you like to do for fun?
These days I barely get off time, but I would say any free time that I have right now, or any off time that I have, I'm prioritizing it on my kids, because the business takes a lot from them. So I try to spend time with my family. I used to play a lot of soccer, and I used to bike a lot. So those are some of the things that have been taken away, but I'm creating time. I know it's just a matter of time for the business to take off and then start pouring into me. But biking, I'm a big soccer fan. We call it football back home. Premier League, go Manchester United, go Orlando City.
So, do you play any video games? And if so, what's your favorite one?
Unfortunately not. I don't play video games.
Not even on your phone?
I do not.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then what's your favorite book to read?
The Alchemist. I have read that book several times. It just pours into me so much, and it's one of, I like reading those kind of books. I like true stories. Not so much into fiction. And I love reading, actually. When I get time, I read a lot. Yeah.
So what was the biggest mistake that you've ever made in life or work, and how did it change you as a person?
Sometimes I feel like I should have started this business sooner. In 2017, I had the feeling that I needed to start, but I did not. But I'm not regretting, because I grew so much in my career, in my corporate career, and there's so many lessons that I got being in leadership in corporate that I'm actually applying into my business. So if I started earlier, I think I could have solved a lot of problems that I am encountering right now that needs to be solved, especially on the farming side and also on the consumption side. But I think I delayed. Yeah.
Okay. Now, can you tell me that one story? Remember, this is a kid's show. But the one story, that you're not supposed to tell me about. Come on. You can tell me. I know I won't tell anyone.
When I was a kid, because it's a farm, there used to be ways of us hiding at the farm and running away from our parents. And then we would pretend that we had, I know one time I got it rough. When you are sent and you, instead of going where you're going, you just hide and you don't do it, and then you say, I didn't find what you sent me for.
Yeah.
Because they used to send us a lot, the house and the farm.
Yeah.
Oh, go back home, which is like 30 minutes, and you're trekking there, and then bring this. And then I just hid in the coffee farm and say I went home and I didn't find it. It's not like you could call your parent and they would direct you where the thing is. Yeah.
Nowadays, you have tracking stuff.
Don't
right,
tell
Father?
anyone, though.
So, is there anything else you think my listeners should know about you and what you do?
So, I call myself an educator. I tell people that I don't sell coffee. I sell an experience. I tell people I don't import coffee. I import the story. So I connect you to the people in the place where the coffee comes from. And exactly the thing I want you to get out of that is the joy, the passion, and the tears that we pour into the craft. So I say I'm going to be out of business the moment I'll start selling coffee. And I don't want that time to come. I just feel like I am an advocate for a lot of farmers across the world, not just in my community, who are not privileged enough to be on this other side of the business. So I tell their story the best way I can.
So, do you have a Facebook or a website for my listeners who want to follow you?
Yes. So we are at Solai Coffee, SOLAI COFFEE. On every social media, and on Instagram, it's Solai Coffee LLC.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is that one question that you think I forgot to ask you?
How old am I?
Well, how old are you?
I am actually turning 39 next year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a question I got a lot, so I'm surprised you didn't ask.
Well, thank you, Peter, for being our special guest. Can you stick around for Math Corners?
Yay! I can. Do I have to do math?
Maybe.
Okay.
Aw, Dad, my computer's slow again and I can't play my games.
Call Your Computer Solutions today, and we will scan for viruses and clean that computer up remotely and make it fast again. Our phone number is 407-826-0810.
Thanks, Dad. My computer's fast again. Now I can do my homework. Thanks for calling Your Computer Solutions at 407-826-0810.
Tiberius' favorite subject, it's Math Corners!
And now it's time for Math Corners. Thank you so much, Peter, for helping me with Math Corners. This week, we're just about multi-step word problems. My dad's always good at finding new problems for me to solve, and today, we're going to talk about watering a farm. Oh, I see. It's because you run a coffee farm. My dad's really reaching this time. So, a small farm is watering new seedlings. Each seedling takes 2 liters of water a day. The farm has 45 seedlings in the nursery. The farm also has a large section of older plants that need at least 5 liters of water per day. The farm has 20 older plants. How much water does the farm need in total each day to water all the plants?
I need AI.
AI normally doesn't always get it right. So I think that we're going to have to use our mental math and some of our addition to do this one. Well, this is a real-world problem because farmers do need to make sure that they water each plant with enough water so they grow, especially during the dry season. So first, you have to multiply the number of seedlings by the water that each one needs. So 45 seedlings times 2 liter water is 90 liters total. So then we do the same for the older plants. We have 20 plants times 5, and 20 times 5 is just, 2 times 5 is 10, and 2 times 10 is 20, so it's just 100. So now that we got 100 liters total, that means we have to add those two up. We have to add 190 up, and that's just 190 liters of water per day to keep all the plants hydrated. So Peter, do farmers really have to plant this kind of water math when you're working on the farm, or should they just like turn on the faucet or something?
I think they have to, but they don't do it knowingly, and that's why I say math is important.
Math is used everywhere. I don't think kids understand that, man.
Yeah.
Well, my teachers said that I would use math every single day. And I think you've already proved enough, like, how you use math in your work. But, like, what else do you use math with in your work as a coffee maker?
When we are pulling espressos, it's a math game. When we are pouring, actually, the perfect cup of coffee is all math. How much... we
How
call
much
them
grounds
ratios.
you put in, how
Yes.
much milk you put in,
How much time?
how much time now.
How much did you extract? Did you over extract? Did you under extract? It's a math thing. Yeah. So you have to know your math for you to pour a perfect cup of coffee.
So kids, stay in school. Yes, you too, gamers. Math is used in games. I hope you know that. Well, thank you so much, Peter, for your help with Math Corners.
You're welcome.
And now it's time for the Heart of a Lion. As you know, we talk about the qualities of living by the heart of a lion, which stands for leadership, integrity, obedience, and ability. This week, we're going to talk about leadership. For me, I think leadership is the act of loving what is good, having self-control, and being disciplined. The qualities of leadership are providing guidance and direction, organization, and being a positive influence on others. So, I was at school during lunch, and everyone was in line waiting for food. The line was super long, and people were getting frustrated. A couple of kids started arguing because someone thought that someone else cut in front of them. It's like, you know how it goes, and like that. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. Move. No, you move. And it was getting louder and louder. Normally, I would just try to stay out of stuff like that, but this time, the light was completely stuck, and half the cafeteria was watching it like some kind of reality show. So I took a deep breath and said, hey guys, hold on. Let's just figure this out. One person talk at a time. Everyone actually stopped for a second, probably because they were surprised I even said anything. But I listened to both of them, and it turned out it was just a misunderstanding. One kid left the line to grab napkins, and the other kid didn't see him come back. Nobody was trying to cheat. So, okay, that's easy. He didn't cut. Let's just get back in line the right way. And boom, problem solved. The line started moving again, and nobody needed to argue anymore. Now, here's the thing. I wasn't trying to be the boss, wasn't trying to be the hero. I saw something that needed help, and I was getting in the way of that because it was getting in the way of what I wanted to do, and decided to step up. And that's what leadership really is. You see something that you really want done, and you just get it done. Leadership is also just calming things down when everyone else is heated. Leadership is also helping people work together instead of fighting. Leadership is seeing a problem and saying, hey, I can help fix this. Let's just get this done. So the next time you see something going wrong, or someone needs help, or a situation could use like a little bit of direction seeking, be brave, be kind, step up, and show everyone that you can be lion strong. So Peter, do you have an example of leadership at all this week?
First of all, spot on your description about leadership. It's about pouring into people, and when you pour into people, they pour back into you. And an example this week is encouraging my team to try things that are outside of their comfort zone, and making sure that they understand that failure is part of success. So I have someone who does our graphics, and I'm trying to get them to start doing the website design. And they were afraid to take on a task to publish a page. And I told them, hey, publish it. Sometimes if I'm looking at it and you're looking at it, it's not for our eyes, it's for the people out there. So put your best foot forward, publish it, and feel good about it. We receive feedback, we tweak things. And I think that is what leadership is. It's allowing other people to make those decisions, and knowing that, yeah, you can fail, but it's part of, success and the process. Yeah.
Well, we should always try to be lion strong in everything we do, shouldn't we? And that's our show, folks. I want to thank the one, the only, the amazing Peter Kuria for being on my show. It has been so much fun talking to you today. I think I learned a lot about your work with coffee farming and production.
It was so much fun having this session with you, and the questions, very good questions. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, do you mind giving your social media and website again for me?
Yeah, sure. It's at Solai Coffee on all social media handles. And for Instagram, Solai Coffee LLC. Our website is solaicoffee.com. And actually, Solai is where I was born and raised, and that's where the coffee comes from.
Okay. And also, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at The Tiberius Show. And I would like to thank WWPR 1498M, Canton 98, Soul Radio 24/7, Easy Way TV, and all the other stations that air my show. And please be sure to visit The Tiberius Show on YouTube and hit that subscribe button. Hey, Peter, are you subscribed yet?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you subscribed. It's pretty good.
And I hit the bell.
Ah, okay. Well, this week, Karen Falcon says, very informative. And Gabby Owens 1059 says, the first part was so funny. Well, Gabby, thank you so much for watching the show, and I'm glad that it made you laugh. So, be sure to leave a comment on my videos, and I might even mention yours at the end of the show. Also, be sure to do this with us next on the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy.